In this video, I want to talk about all the things you need to avoid in order to increase the probability of you succeeding in these markets. See, in life, as well as in trading, victory only comes to the toughest kid on the block. Now, I don't know what you've been told up until now, but one thing I do know is that half-truths and misinformation sell fastest, but return the hardest. So the first thing I'm going to uncover, and it would be very disingenuous if I didn't handle it right away, and is that trading is not easy, right? You must be prepared to make a sacrifice, not only of your time, but only to learn new skills that you do not learn in the real world. Because trading is evasive, and therefore the way the market operates and the way the real world operates is very different. So if you're new here, my name is Sibulele and I'm currently documenting my entire trading journey with as much transparency as possible so that I can lead by example. So if you're new here, or if you're just getting started with trading, or if you're already advanced in your trading stage, please follow my channel for new videos every single Friday. Now that I've uncovered that trading is not easy, it's very important to note that it's possible. And victory tastes so much more sweeter once you've succeeded in a dark ocean that very few people are willing to stick through and have the heart to overcome all the many challenges we need to uncover. All right, so starting, and the first thing I want to uncover is that there's two side of things in order to succeed in the markets. So we have a technical side of things, and then we have a psychological side of things. The technical side of things involves finding an edge, which is basic requirements we need before we can execute a trade. And then we have psychology, which involves thinking like a professional, thinking in probabilities, and approaching the markets from a large number of trades perspective compared to a trade by trade perspective. So the world that we live in does not operate the same way as the environment in the trading community, right? And the reason for that is we've been brought up and we've been conditioned to believe that hard work equals success, but in trading, that's definitely not the case. You will be paid according to your skill level, and most importantly, according to your psychology level. Now, the technical side of things is very easy to learn, and it's definitely only going to take you time to learn that, but the psychology skills take a lot more time to acquire because those could involve you making mistakes so that you can learn. Some of the greatest benefits I've had in trading have come from all the mistakes I've made. So for example, having a detailed plan, knowing when to follow it, right? Knowing how to execute a trade, but also exiting whenever the market is telling me that my trading idea will not work out. So these are very important skills to acquire in trading. So I'm going to recommend a couple of books that can help you a lot with your psychology. And the first book is The Disciplined Trader by Mark Douglas. That's a very important book that goes into talking about winning ideas and thinking and approaching the market as a professional compared to an amateur. Now, it's very important to note that in the market and in all markets, the money is always transferred from people that don't know what they're doing to people that know what they're doing. So the very important thing is to start working on your psychology, because the technical side of things is a side that most traders know, and it appears as if we put the most of our efforts on our technical side. However, 99% of the results we get are actually because of our psychology. All right, so here's some typical trading errors that most traders make, right? And the first one is refusing to define a loss. The second one is refusing to exit a trade after we've acknowledged that the trade potential is extremely diminished. We still refuse to exit. That is a complete huge trading error. And the third one is having a specific belief about the market, that the market is wrong and you are right. And in a way, you are trying to control the market. The fourth one is focusing on the price and the value of an individual currency instead of focusing on the potential of the market to move based on its behavior as well as structure. The fifth one is revenge trading. After taking a loss, you're trying to get back the money you've lost in the market, but not knowing that most of your decisions are largely involved and controlled by your emotions. So the next one is not following a trading plan, not having a plan and not following it consistently. You have well-defined rules that you end up not following, and that's all because of your emotions, because of your psychology, and not understanding that you do not need to know what's going to happen next in order to make money on these markets. There's two ways you can approach this. You can approach it from a trade-by-trade perspective, which is what everyone does. That basically means that you're going to go all in on this trade, and the success and the failure of this trade is literally going to be the definition of your trading account, right? But that typically doesn't end well because you could be on a winning streak, and the moment you take a loss, you liquidate almost 80 to 100% of your account. That's the amateur approach. The professional approach, the professional knows that he doesn't need to know what's going to happen next in order to make money. So let me give you a detailed component and perspective on how the professional approaches the market. The professional has a trading plan, clear, well and defined rules to follow. Now, it's very important to note that every trading plan or every edge has a success rate. So let's say, for example, the professional has an 80% success rate. That means that after a large sample of trades of between 25 to 30, 80% of those trades will be successful and 20% will fail or hit stop loss or result in a loss. Now, it's very important to note that the professional knows that on a trade by trade perspective, you can't pinpoint which trades will work and which ones won't. Therefore, it's important to follow and apply these rules on every single trade. Now, the professional knows that you do not need to know what's going to happen next in order to make money. Therefore, you should focus on making sure you're applying your rules consistently on every single trade. That is the only way you're going to be consistently successful after a large sample of trades. Now, winning streaks and losing streaks do happen. However, the only way in which you can ensure that you're going to be successful in the long term is to apply your edge on every single trade, approach the market from a large number of trades perspective, and work on refining your methodology, because your success rate is largely dependent on how good or how bad your methodology is. Let's talk about the skills which we can acquire in order to be better traders. All right, so I want to talk about a new way of thinking, a new, completely different approach to trading. Now, the very first and most important thing I want to talk about is you, that the biggest problem you have here is yourself. Most problems that traders experience are created by humans and therefore can be solved by humans. See, our cultural upbringing and our upbringing, as well as our culturally learned behaviors, result in unsuccessful trading. I want to go into step by step what these are and how you can use that. Learning the dynamics of goal achievement so that you can stay focused on what you want and not what you fear. Learning how to recognize the skills we need to develop as a trader and stay focused on the development of these skills instead of the money, which is merely a byproduct of the skills. Learning how to adapt yourself to market condition changes more readily. Learning the amount of risk that you are comfortable with, and then learning to expand it in a way that is consistent with your ability to identify market conditions in a consistent way. Learning how to execute your trades immediately upon seeing an opportunity in the markets. This is very different from a trading methodology because trading systems only allow us to operate within a certain vicinity. But now we need a new thinking methodology in order to adapt with ever-changing market conditions. You see, trading systems have certain rules, but the market can do whatever it wants. Now, it's very important to note that all these things I mentioned previously could largely affect your psychology in a positive way. Now, I encourage that you read The Disciplined Trader in more detail while you watch this video in order for you to establish all the rules in more detail and the thinking methodology you need to establish. But thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for new videos every single Friday. And if you have any further questions, please let me know.